Live on YouTube, going live on Rumble. Good afternoon. Welcome to Weekly Recap AKA W.W.R. This show is a dive into the odd, obscure, bizarre, in other words for strange, world of notable events, weather, and sports, aka news. I am Xander.
Golden Loon.
And UVRU. Thank you so much for coming in and watching us. Today is Saturn's Day, aka Saturday, April 11th, 2026. Let's get into the news, shall we? Starting us off in Naughty Central, the Octo-Auto, a legendary 8-wheel automobile built for comfort. That doesn't look too comfortable. So, the Octo-Auto.
What the heck?
I know, right? Believe it or not, though, that's not the most bizarre car I've seen. I've seen some cars out there with, like, so many wheels, it's ridiculous.
What's the year of this thing?
Well, let's see. Car suspension wasn't always as efficient as it is today, and as bad as you think roads are nowadays. They used to be much worse back in the early 1900s. Well, of course. But even then, people were coming up with ingenious, unconventional ways of making car rides more comfortable for passengers. The 8-wheel Octo-Auto was one such bizarre invention. The Reeves Overland Octo-Auto is one of the most unusual automobiles ever made. Created by U.S. inventor Milton Reeves in 1911, it sought to solve a very big problem of the times: ride comfort. Early cars just weren't comfortable to ride in, and the poor suspension also took a heavy toll on tires. To create the Octo-Auto, Reeves took inspiration from train design. If carriages had multiple bodies, or multiple bogies, allergies, to help with suspension and everything. Where'd it go? Distribute load and smooth the ride. Why couldn't the same effect be obtained by increasing the number of wheels on a car? So they actually have a video here of it. So I'm gonna lower the volume and let's see here. There we go.
Folks, let's talk about a car that's basically
wild,
the automotive version of a why not decision. The Reeves Overland Octo-Auto. Reeves decided to take a
look at that.
Good grief.
Like, so it looks like every every wheel has its own suspension and everything, and with more ground surface, you'll have that much less of an impact, if that makes any sense. Like, the more surface you have on the ground, the less.
The more you displace.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to read more about this article or any other ones that we already have, they're already there in the underbar section.
What year was it again?
11.
11. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. In 1911. Moving on up, what else do we got here? Woman caught hanging onto husband's moving truck to catch him cheating. Wow.
What?
Some females out there are just psychotic. Last month, traffic police in Maralbexi County in northern China's Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region received reports from motorists regarding a woman dangling from the back of a moving truck. A crew was dispatched to the area, and the unusual report was confirmed. Multiple videos shot by shocked motorists showed the woman clinging to the metal bars on the back of a moving pickup truck, but her reasons remained unknown until local police put out a statement. As it turns out, the reason for this crazy stunt was jealousy. Upon stopping the truck, police learned that the woman hanging from the back was the driver's wife. Apparently, she had become convinced that he was having an affair and decided to follow him as he left home so he could catch him in the act. As the man got into his truck one night, she snuck out of the house and grabbed onto the back of the vehicle. Police say she was incredibly lucky to be alive, as if her husband hadn't driven at a high speed or on the road been bumpier, she could have fallen to her doom. Yeah, like, if you're that convinced that he's cheating, then, just break it off or something.
There's got to be a better way than that.
Yeah. Although in China, I don't know how oppressive they are. In this case, they probably are. They love their oppression over there in China. So, they probably don't have any divorces. And, even if she does catch him in the act, what is she going to do? If she can divorce him, she needs more proof than just her own, sighting. She needs a witness or something. I don't know.
Well, she would be the witness. Kind of an important one.
Yeah, but what's stopping her from just making it up then?
Nothing.
Exactly.
What's stopping anybody from making anything up?
True, but with multiple people, you have more substantial, or so you'd think. Anyway, more from Oddity Central. Over 100 self-driving robotaxis stopped working simultaneously, and no one really knows why. I know why. Because somebody, at the control center hit stop.
Or someone broke in.
According to the Wuhan Municipal Public Security Bureau's Traffic Management Bureau, Why is it bureau twice? Starting at 8:57 p.m., reports started coming in regarding robotaxis operating in the city that had suddenly stopped working. It was later revealed that over 100 robotaxis have malfunctioned simultaneously, all belonging to the same company, Apollo Go, an autonomous ride-hailing service run by the Chinese IT company Baidu.
Sounds like someone hacked it.
Probably. What else do we got here? We spoke about this last week. Remember last Sunday? The world's oldest pigeon in captivity and everything?
Yeah.
Now, I just on a whim decided to, because this is from a different source. So it says here, doves and pigeons have an average life expectancy of around 20 years, but Sugar, the oldest living dove in captivity, lived more than double that long. Well, I thought it was a pigeon. Is it a dove or a pigeon? This is saying the world's oldest pigeon, and this one is saying the world's oldest dove. Doves are not pigeons, are they?
Two different animals.
Yeah, so already we have a discrepancy here.
The only thing they have in common is they're birds.
Yeah, so... yeah, if you want to, hear more about this or whatever, like you can click the underbar, because we've already covered this article, but what I want to cover is that, this part here. Sadly, Sugar passed away on Easter Sunday, but he will live both on Dwayne's heart and in the memory of people around the world as the world's oldest pigeon. So yeah, on the day we covered this article, that was, at some point that day on Easter Sunday, the bird died.
Yeah, oh wow.
It died on Easter Sunday.
Wow. Well, they're calling it a pigeon. They have a picture of a dove.
Well, it says here the world's oldest pigeon. When we covered this last week, we covered it as the world's oldest pigeon. But now it's saying dove magically.
Yeah.
So anyway, what else do we got here? Oh, I still have that photo right there. Chinese students increasingly renting AI smart glasses to cheat on university exams. Wow. Terrible. I wouldn't call them smart glasses, then, are they? They make you stupid. You know? And, same thing with soft drinks. Like, why are these called soft drinks? Like, is there such a thing as hard? Well, I guess alcohol.
Yeah.
So
it definitely is.
Yeah. Smart glasses have been around for a while now, and though still far from a popular gadget, AI-powered versions have been seen increasing adaptation by young students in China who use them to boost their chances of acing exams. A recent report by Rest of the World revealed that AI smart glasses with integrated large language models are all the rage among Chinese students looking to cheat their way through difficult exams.
Jeez.
Equipped with cameras and audio features powered by large language models, these glasses can scan tests and exam questions and provide answers in augmented reality without anyone noticing. Now, do you know what augmented reality, what AR is?
No.
Basically, like, it's, well, here, I'll show you. Pokemon Go had augmented reality. Pokemon Go augmented reality. And what it does is it superimposes like a thing, like an image over real life. So like right here. So like right here, it shows the guy holding his phone.
Yeah.
Okay. And as soon as it right there. Now that was augmented reality. See, he's capturing this grassland right here.
Yeah.
You know, this grass. And in the camera, you can see the grass as well.
Yeah.
But it superimposes in the camera the actual image of the Pokemon. So what it does is, with augmented reality, on the screen of your glass, you actually see like a HUD, heads up display, kind of like in the Avengers or whatever. Like it shows the interior of Iron Man's helmet. He has all those things floating around.
Never saw it.
Well, you've seen Iron Man and you've seen the Avengers and everything.
Yeah.
But,
well, no, not really. I've seen Iron Man one. I saw one. I don't even know if I saw the whole thing.
Wow. All right. Well, basically, it projects without everybody else seeing, like on the inside of your glasses,
No,
what the answers are and everything.
Yeah. No, I got that.
So, that's terrible.
Yeah.
We also have Central American rodent found wandering in Poland. What? Central American rodent found wandering in Poland. From UPI. A woman jogging in Rybak, Poland, contacted authorities when she spotted an agouti, a Central American rodent resembling a large guinea pig. Pacherzy said initial capture efforts had to be called off when the cat-sized agouti became aggressive. So there's more to the story, but there's not really much to the story. It's separated mostly
Someone obviously brought it here.
Yeah, maybe. So, there's a rodent halfway across the world. That's wild. What else do we got here? Mysterious barge floated Michigan River, striking 2 bridges. A barge was spotted floating down a Michigan River and collided with at least 2 bridges, but its purpose and origins remain a mystery. Witnesses told WWMT-TV a barge, a large flat wooden surface floating atop blue barrels, apparently began its Kalamazoo River journey upstream of the Angle Street Bridge in Battle Creek, where it struck the structure before passing underneath and eventually striking the 20th Street Bridge. The barge, which was first spotted Monday, has remained at the second bridge, where it is now moored with a green strap. So somebody just randomly built like a barge or something. Here, let me bigger this. What do you say?
I was looking for a picture, but you have one.
I have an image, a moving picture here. Well, look, it's just floating.
Oh.
Yeah, it hit the bridge.
Yeah.
But like, it's just a flat plank of wood. There's no steering. There's no anything.
Well, barge is generally towed.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a barge.
I wonder who owns it.
Broke loose from somewhere.
More from UPI. Arkansas woman ran half marathon while wearing 55 T-shirts. Yeah.
What is that?
Like, here's a video of her putting on all of her shirts. I've seen 1,000,001 of these videos, where people like put on as many shirts as they can and everything for one reason or another. I've never heard of something like this before, where somebody runs, or in this case, a half marathon, like, which, it doesn't sound like a lot, but, think about 50 T-shirts.
Oh, man.
That's gonna start getting weighing, and you can't breathe. That's all pure heat under there. So.
Well, at least she's left one on.
Yeah, thank goodness. An Arkansas woman, athlete, donned 55 T-shirts and ran a half a marathon to break Guinness World Record and celebrate her weight loss journey. Well, congratulations.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Meredith Smith ran at the 4th Smith Half Marathon on March 30th, 2025. While wearing her 55 layers of shirts, and Guinness World Records is now confirmed, she earned the title for the most T-shirts worn during a half marathon for female. She finished it with a time of under 3 hours and 30 minutes.
Now, that makes it important.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's losing weight or lost weight.
Yeah.
Good for her.
I wonder if this is what she looked like before she lost weight. If that's what she's commemorating.
Well, I wonder how much weight she lost. Did she lose 55 pounds?
I don't know.
No,
because the 55 is supposed to break the record.
Right.
So, yeah, it's not telling us anything. There's just one more paragraph left in the article, and I don't want to read it. I want people to go to it. What else we got here? Pranksters suspended Volkswagen Beetle from rock face in British Columbia. Hey, that's your neck of the woods where you came from.
Now, what was that again? I didn't even follow that.
Pranksters suspended Volkswagen Beetle, the car,
yeah,
from a rock face.
Okay, it's the pranksters that didn't register.
Yeah, parks officials in British Columbia said a hollowed-out Volkswagen Beetle suspended from a rock face in an apparent prank will be removed this week. The vehicle, painted red with a Canadian flag on the hood and a letter E on the roof, was spotted at a Squamish rock face known to climbers as the Papoose in late March. The province's Ministry of Environment and Parks said the area is currently closed for safety reasons, and the car will be removed within the next week. ABC Park spokesperson told Post Media News the apparent prank, quote, has placed an unnecessary strain on park operations at one of the busiest times of the year, end quote. So they have
a well-known rock
right
climbing
here.
area in Squamish is closed.
Squamish climbers wanted a closer look.
This is supported by just
somehow they got the car
one line right now.
way up there.
Exploring
on
the
cliff.
cost.
Especially if there were high winds, which of course Squamish is
They
famous
didn't
on.
bring it up.
It could be a different game
lowered it down
entirely.
from the
I
top.
really love
climbing on the.
That makes more
And
sense.
I think you have a lot of very bright people.
That's wild. At least they got rid of like all the the lights, the glass.
It's a shell.
Yeah.
Who goes to all that trouble for what?
Well, they got on the news, didn't they?
I guess they did.
So.
Yeah.
What else do we got here? Halloween fans don Michael Myers costumes to break world records. Now, do you know the interesting facts behind this mask?
I know Michael Myers. I don't know what's behind the mask, but it looks like I should. Isn't it from some horror movie?
Well, yeah, Halloween.
Okay.
Michael Myers is a villain from the Halloween series, a slasher and everything. But the mask itself.
Oh, he's not an actor?
Well, Michael Myers is an actor,
Okay.
but the character Michael Myers is a different person.
Okay.
Like this is the character. Michael Myers, he voiced Shrek, I believe, and he played in Austin Powers and everything. But no, that's different. There's the Halloween series, a character in the Halloween series. The antagonist is Michael Myers. That's his name. The mask is actually a spray painted Captain Kirk mask from Star Trek.
Oh.
Yeah. So like what they did is they took like rubber Captain Kirk masks and everything, cut out the eyes, spray painted it white, left the hair the way it was and everything. But it's what's his face who played James Tiberius Kirk.
Oh.
That actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've lost it.
The makers of the video game adaptation of Halloween gathered horror fans in Boston to break the Guinness World Record for people dressed as killer Michael Myers. Ely Funok Gun Interactive, Compass International Pictures, and Further Front brought 254 people in Michael Myers costumes to the unveiling of the first playable demo of the upcoming video game at the PAX East Expo in Boston. All right, so I didn't know there was a Halloween video game coming out. So the 254 people dressed in blue overalls and creepy masks, originally modeled after actor William Shatner, as I said, officially set the record for the largest gathering of people dressed as Michael Myers from the Halloween franchise. Guinness World Records confirmed. So we have another record confirmed there. And we will have yet another record here. British woman amassed largest collection of Tomb Raider games. I had no idea there were enough Tomb Raider video games for there to be an actual collection.
I've never even heard of Tomb Raider before.
Yeah, it's you raid tombs. Yeah. Amy Dyson, whose world record coincides with the 30th anniversary of the first Tomb Raider game, owns 291 unique copies of the games in the franchise, including special editions, the same game for separate consoles, and foreign language releases. So sounds like she has like at least one of every example of the game without duplicate.
Yeah.
Be it language and all that stuff.
They don't say it's nothing's duplicated.
Well, she might have duplicates, but that's what I'm saying. Like, she sounds like she has at least one of everything prior to duplicating it. Yeah. So, then again, why would you have duplicates? Unless you want to have one in pristine, in the box, and then you play the other one. So, she took the record from Spanish collector Alejandro Cambronero Albedalio, whose collection was tallied at 215 back in 2017. So she defeated him by quite substantially, but she's still in the 200s.
200 what again?
215 minus 291. So that's 45. 46, if my math is correct?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't sound right.
No, 90 from 15 is 76.
Okay. So this other guy needs to get 77 games to retake his record. And last but not least, passenger gave birth aboard flight from Jamaica to New York. Okay.
Yikes.
What nationality is it? And honestly, this has to have been planned, because there's no way you're that pregnant and you get on a plane hoping that you'll make it. Like they have to have planned, giving birth on the plane.
She could have given birth early. You don't know. It sounds like she's planning to have something born in the U.S.
Well, shouldn't you not be traveling while pregnant at all?
No, you can travel.
Well, with
a lot of people come here to have their babies in the U.S., especially Chinese.
Well,
they come here. They have a visa to come here for a month or two, and they're pregnant, and they have their baby.
Well, the Mexicans were doing that a lot more, beforehand and everything.
Well, I'm not. I shouldn't pick any culture out.
No, you shouldn't. But I mean, it is.
That's not my point.
Yeah.
My point means a lot of people do that.
I just would have thought, especially with the compression, decompression, and all the differences in elevation, is going to have an effect on the fetus.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so. Why? Yeah. How much of an effect does it have on us?
Well, it has enough to have your ears pop and everything,
well, yeah.
And you're developing a human inside you. If something pops, that could be fatal. I
don't think there's any possibility of altitude. Now,
I don't know.
I don't think you can go up to 50,000 feet or anything like that.
Well, anyway, it says here, Caribbean Airlines confirmed a passenger on a flight from Jamaica to New York gave birth as the flight was landing at John F. Kennedy Airport. So as they was landing, she gave birth.
Yeah.
The airline issued a news release confirming the incident aboard flight BW005 on April 4th. Audio of the conversation between pilot and the ground control operator was obtained by CBS News. The ground control worker asked if the baby has already been born, and the pilot confirmed it has. Quote, all right, tell her she's got to name it Kennedy, end quote, the ground control operator says. Okay, that's kind of funny. The airline says medical personnel attended the woman and the newborn as soon as the plane landed. It makes me wonder, like, what is its nationality then if it's just landing?
It's going to be a U.S. citizen.
Wow.
Now.
Just made it.
Yeah. You're in our airspace and you're a citizen.
Wow.
I would think.
Yeah.
But maybe they were already in the ground when she had it. But that's what it sounds like. She's coming here to have. Why would you be that close to pregnant?
That's what I'm saying.
And you're coming here.
Like the only other thing I could think of is to make a news headline to give birth on the airplane.
What do they call it? Something.
5 minutes of fame.
No, they call it Uncle Baby.
Oh yeah. There's that. Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. For your dose of different, odd, and unusual news every day, also known as notable events, weather, and sports, we stream every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 4 Mountain, 5 Central, and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. We do have other shows from history to news, movie reactions and reviews, video memes, Omni Kitchen, and everything else between on Talk Show. We're on IOYO, yeah. Check the underbar. Although we only have a handful of shows still going on today. So, but anyway, yeah. Until you catch us next time, whenever it is, wherever it is, for all of you and all of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
And UVRU. We do have a show coming up in about an hour and 39 minutes here, the History Show. So until then, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles.